Hi, my name's Dawn and I'm here to tell you all about the wonders that you might just find in the South Downs National Park. To do that, I'm going to tell you 3 stories about some of the nature you will find here. The first one is Race to the Sun. This story is about 3 little birds, which you will see quite frequently in our skies during April to around about the beginning of September. Those 3 birds come under a class of birds called hirundines. That's a great name, isn't it? But you might know them better as house martin, swallow and swift. So let me tell you a little bit about them, because if you look up, you might just see 2 of them at least sat on a wire. That would be the house martin and the swallow. They might be sitting on telegraph wires. I'll show you what they look like. The first one is the little house martin. Here she is. You can tell it's house martin because she has a white bit just at the back here, and she has a white bit under her chin, and she's got blue-black feathers across her head and back. That's house martin. The next one I mentioned was swallow. Let me show you swallow. Here's swallow. Now you can tell swallow because when you look up at swallow's silhouette, she has very, very long pointy tail feathers. They're called swallowtail, and she has a little red mark underneath her chin, and again, although you can't see it on this picture, she has blue-black feathers on her back as well. Finally, we have swift. Swift, normally one of the first ones to appear and the biggest one, has a quite large wingspan of almost 40 centimetres in some cases. Now Swift just has a little white patch just here, and they're sort of a brown black colour, and in the first 4 years of their lives swifts don't land. They spend their whole time flying and eating on the wing. Now this story involves a very naughty little woodpecker, and woodpeckers, this is a green woodpecker, this one, makes a very distinctive call. It's almost as if they're laughing at you, and they get called a yaffle. Let me see if I can make the sound with this bird to see whether you can hear it. You hear how he's laughing. That's the green woodpecker or the yaffle. Very easy to spot, jumping down on the grass, trying to eat the ants. It's its favourite food is a woodpecker's ants. So, what's this woodpecker got to do with these 3 birds that spend all their time flying around? Well, let me tell you the story. These 3 little birds, house martin, swallow and swift, they were arguing one day about who was the fastest flyer. House martin said, "Surely I am. I've travelled the 6,000 miles that you 2 have as well, and well, I get here often well in advance." No, says the swift. "It's definitely me that gets here first. I fly also 6,000 miles and I do it very, very fast. And in fact, I don't even bother to land sometimes." "Hang on," says swallow. "I travel the same distance and I go just as fast." "Well," said yaffle, who was sat on a little post just down by the fence as he was watching these birds arguing, and he said, "Well, why don't you have a race? Race all the way to the sun, see who can get there first, and the one that gets there first wins." Well, the 3 little birds, they thought this was an excellent idea, and so yaffle did the countdown and off they went. They flew into the sky and towards the sun. Now what they didn't know is that there was a particularly good supply of ants near where the woodpecker was, and the woodpecker wanted them all for himself, and he knew that should the house martin and the swallow and the swift know about those little ants, especially the flying ones, well, then they might try and eat them first and take them back for their chicks, because they had nests with very hungry chicks in them. So he'd devised this plan so that they would fly off to the sun and he would have all the ants for himself. Meanwhile, the little house martin and the swallow and the swift, they're all flying up high into the sky towards the sun, and they're flying as hard as they can towards the sun. Now, you and I know that the sun is millions of miles away. I have no idea how these little birds would possibly manage it, but they're trying. The first to get tired is little house martin. And when she turns around to look back at what Yaffle is doing, she sees him eating all those ants, and she knows that they have been tricked, and she flies back down and she says to the little woodpecker, she says, "You tricked us." And he says, "Well, you wanted a race and you got a race. The other two are winning from the look of it." But Swallow is the next to turn around and see what is going on down on the ground, and Swallow comes back and he too tells the woodpecker off, because he can see that woodpecker is eating all of the ants and there will be none left for their little babies in the nest. Eventually, Swallow and House Martin manage to get the woodpecker to return to the woods, where there is plenty of food for him too. And then they turn around and they call up to the swift and they say, "Swift, Swift, we've been tricked. Come back, come back. You cannot possibly reach the sun. It is far too far away." Well, Swift turns around and she looks down at little Swallow and Martin and she says, "I am not stopping for anyone. I am having so much fun. Look, I'm almost at the sun." And as she comes back down from her journey to the sun, she is screaming and shrieking all the way about what fun she had. And she is flying all the way down. She flies past the house martin and the swallow and she says, "See, I am the fastest and strongest flyer," she says. Well, the house martin and the swallow, they can't deny it. And listener, next time you hear the swifts out in the sky and you hear them making that shrieking, screeching sound, now you know that they're telling you all about the day that they flew all the way to the sun and back. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed that little story of the three hirundines and their race to the sun. You can find that story in my book, Adventures in Nature, and there are 3 chances to win that book as part of Discover Your National Parks Week with the South Downs National Park. We'll put all the details for that underneath this video. And also you can go and find some more resources to help you discover your national park on our website. Like I say, all those details will be down below this video. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.